Hey, beautiful beauties, wonderful people, a pleasant morning to you. Wonderful people, last evening I was listening the news and the Prime Minister was speaking, maybe at a press conference or something. And he said something that I said to myself, my God, finally somebody seemed to understand the plight of the Jamaican people when we have to go to certain government agencies and the bureaucracy surrounding it. It's almost like they're asking you to write down an epistle on a sheet of paper. Why is it your eyes are the way your eyes are? Why is it that your nose is the way your nose is? Why is it your lips are the way your lips are? I mean, it's like when you go there, it's like you wonder to yourself if life is saying, I am going to annoy you today. I am going to frustrate you today. I'm going to waste your hours. It's a wasting of hours. Time lost can never be regained, people. That is one of the reasons why I don't like the idea of us wasting time, Yes, when you're younger, you really probably don't understand the importance of time. Business people prefers to have time than even money. As much as money is significant and important and speaks to our success, part of our success. It's not the only thing with success. Health is key. Your spiritual life with Christ Jesus is key, and all of these things. Time. And secondly, you're dealing with human beings. You're not going to, after a while, deal with aliens or dogs and cats. In other words, the difficulty that they put people through, maybe that is why some of them go through the bandul way, because you're pushing people's buttons. Am I supporting bandulism? I certainly am not. I could never do that. But as a human being, I probably in some instances, once it's not heinous, I probably can understand. It's maybe like the Peter Pan effect, when he stole from the wealthy, so-called, to give to the poor. Because people cannot be disenfranchised and disheartened and trodden so much. We're going to fight back. That's how we did. There's something inbuilt within us that will make us fight back. So when he says he's going to do away with the nonsense, it is true. I wish he could do that as it relates to people, for example, seeking loans, seeking to open accounts. Whilst I understand that there are money laundering things going on, and thievery and scamming and all of these things, for the most part, let me tell you, most people cannot be choppers, scammers, thieves. Somebody said to me that I heard a gentleman saying that he went to Western Union to collect some funds one day, and I don't know how much it was. I can't speak to that, but I know that you can't trade over $1,000 maybe for the day, and they give you maybe an amount for the week. And he said that when he went back the second day, the lady asked him, what is he doing with the money? What do you mean, what is he doing with the money? It's crazy. There is that is invasion of privacy. That's rude, out of order, and disrespectful. Have we lost our minds? If that is true, they need to do away with that. You cannot, because they're saying money. And this is a problem that I have, wonderful people. What we are doing, we're using the minority to judge a majority. We're using the exceptions to the rule as a benchmark to lay the foundation. We cannot operate like that. In other words, if you have a handful of people who are doing things that are unseeming, that are unlawful or unethical, we assume that majority, because they think that way, you assume that the next person thinks that way. No, it's like when I hear people talk about and not keeping women company because women are not good. You have to be careful that you don't speak in the absolute. You have decent women who will not, go awry in the relationship, who will not betray the relationship, who are not tricksters in the relationship, who are not looking to dupe you and out to get you. And their confidence is very good, even better than the so-called men that you say you will keep. And the very issue and the very issue or demon, let me call it that way, or infraction in the woman are seen in some men, many of them as well. It's just that men cannot operate as how we operate, because they don't want to be called mama man, so man and whatnot. But don't think it's a human problem. It's not so much just female, male. It's just that women tend to use their emotions a little bit more. We have to be careful. So I'm saying all of that to say, even though you may have some criminals and thieves and whatnot, it doesn't mean that everyone is the same. So when you come to these business places, treat people as though they're law-abiding citizens until they give you a reason not to. until they give you, and I'm not saying they must treat them like they're not human, even if they give you a reason not to. Meaning, you can put measures in place. I know you may want to say any pit in the bud because of them, you want to ensure that. But people don't want to always live as though, it's almost like they have to convince themselves, I know I'm a law-abiding citizen. I know I'm law-abiding. I know I'm law-abiding. It is treacherous. It is ridiculous. It is, I wouldn't say necessarily unfounded so much, but it is sort of baseless and weightless. Because you can't use a one and two little thieves. It's not the majority of people. It may look that way. It may seem that way. It's almost like when people are talking about the alphabet people. They make it say like half the populace is this. And no, it is not. No matter how it may seem to you, you can't look at people's outward appearance and assume that they're this, that, and the third. That's what a lot of Jamaicans tend to do. Because of toxic homophobia and all of that. Meaning it's ridiculous. I see a man eating ice cream and because the man hurrying. You could say that the man was hurrying. Somebody, you hear a background voice calling the man B-man. I said, you know, people are so wicked. The lives that many of you have tried to destroy. And accusing people falsely. But these entities in government, my God. Make Jesus have his mercy. We need a rescue. We need a remnant like what the Chinese have now done as it relates to the mechanics. You know? As it relates to them. The owner of the place said he never knew that it would... Because the people were fed up and they never had another way out. They could lift up them car and carry it go China or lift it up and carry it to a country that would be reasonable and fair and deal with the job as quickly as possible. And not trying to thief out some wire and some this and some that. When the people get back, they care more problem because you're indirectly and directly forcing them to come back to you while stealing from them. And these are people who are struggling and trying. So when you go to these government agencies, it's almost like, you know, you're up on a war page. The people in Hamas and the Palestine, well, I don't think they ever go through this level of warrior like us when we go government places. I think going to do, if we have to choose me, I would rather go one of them places and go fight work. I mean, I probably survive and not be dismembered. More than, it's a diatribe. So when I heard the Prime Minister say that, I said, Prime Minister, I could have shaken your hand. I could have given a hug. It needs to be done away with. When it relates to opening account, getting a loan, whatever it is, this whole paper. And doing this to people, it is not good. It is strenuous. No wonder people must sick. You see what the Maple Hospital is saying with the men? Yes, it but I'm telling you people, if you're to delve into it, it's not just a poor diet or not eating healthily. It is the stressors. My God, is there any place apart from going out to a function? Like you say, you're going out to a dinner, dance or whatnot or party. Is there any government place that you can go in and feel like and say, you know, I'd come back here tomorrow because the customer service is top notch. I would love for somebody to show me a place in Jamaica right now where customer service is top notch. Everybody, I watch everybody like they think they're thieves. Let me tell you something. You may see somebody come in and they have a thieving look. Let me put it that way. I mean, I look rough and coarse. And those are the more honest ones, you know. Sometimes the one the way you look decent are the thief. And crook and criminal. Sometimes I say. And sometimes the one will look it, they are it. It's like when they think that, you know, like you see pretty people, you feel like their character must be bad, especially if they're single. Not necessarily, you know. Because I've seen people what people would call ugly. The outside ugly and the inside ugly. In and out. Many, many times. But Prime Minister, thank you for that. I pray changes across the board. My God, make we live like civilized people. Let us feel a semblance of importance. God gave us worth and value. No matter how flawed and sinful we are, God gave us worth and value. We want to feel that way when we go to business places. In the government entities predominantly. And the paper, every little thing and question. Most people are not common criminals and thieves. No matter how it may look, most people are not. Most of us are not. Most of us are not. So we need that break. My goodness gracious. I hope that change comes very, very soon. Honestly. Anyway, guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. And give me What are those lions? Thank you.